This Daytona bronze is on its home stretch now. I should be finished having it back together this week, and then it's testing and looking at a whole heap of work that I've gone through and replaced on this car to make sure that everything's okay. So there's a bit of quality control to check and make sure that everything's working, wiring loom, all the brakes have been replaced, all the electricals need to work, the wiper motor obviously needs to work, which it does. So there's a fair bit of testing that needs to take place, but what will happen is at the end of this week, there will be a complete car. So I've got the mounting brackets at the back of the seats now. I'm going to put them together and put them in today, but I'll actually be putting in, before any of that, the rest of the heater assembly, the vents, checking out some of the loom and making sure that everything's okay. I won't be putting the driver's seat in today because I've still got a bit of work to do on the steering column. There's a couple of things that aren't right from the previous shop. Even though I've got steering now, I'm not 100% on this steering column because there's some clips and parts that are missing in it which don't look right and don't look safe. So I just need to play around with it and have a look at it. But what you will see is a car that, for all intents and purposes, looks complete. The doors have all been reassembled, and the rubbers on this side. This one's a little bit tight, but it does shut. The other side shuts a lot easier than that, but one of the main reasons, and I will get this line up by about another mil, but one of the main reasons why this one's not as good as the other side is because whoever did some work on it fabricated the backing plate that goes in the back here, and it doesn't give me enough movement. I may need to swap that out. I'm just going to have a play around and check it out. There is a list of things that need to be done to this car to make sure that everything's okay again, which I will work through. I do have a whiteboard over on this other side of the car where I will need to list a whole heap of things that need to be done to it. Oh, that's my Morpheus GTS, by the way. But yeah, I mean, look, if you look at this side here, I've got all the stainless trims on, bar this one. That'll be done today. And the seats going in, but it shuts a hell of a lot better. It shuts like a Torana door should, and sound. A lot of work goes into those. They're around about 6 to 7 hours each door. None of them fit right. None of them ever have a process where I can just go through and say, right, that's one door and then the other door is going to be the same. They're always different. They can be somewhat painful to put back together, but I just need to make sure I spend the time on each door to get them as close as possible to winding up really easily, and also shutting and closing with the door rubbers on it. It is difficult because these cars have had a lot of work. These doors are not bolt-on doors. They are actually doors that are have got pins and they're welded in, as you can see out there. So once those pins and those welds have been set, it's very difficult to adjust the doors. Really all you've got to play around with is the striker there. Okay, so these stainless steel trimmers are on. Perfect, door shutting perfect. The previous people that were working on it actually put in a, I don't know, they handmade a backing plate for the striker catch, and it was actually a little bit out, so I had to pull it out and adjust it slightly and then put it back in, but it does work really well now because I just couldn't shut that door properly. It just wouldn't shut properly. But now that I've done that, I've got it all sorted, got all the trims on, joins are correct, butt up against each other, all line up with the doors, lines line up with each other as well, and they're now shut properly with minimal effort. All on, nice and straight, gaps are correct, lines are right, beautiful. Okay, the Daytona Bronze LC GTR is missing covers here, the little knob that goes on there, and the seat mechanisms, but I've had some made up. So I'll be installing all this stuff today. Luckily I've got a spare one of these for both sides, and I've got the knobs as well. So looking to put that into there today. And now that the carby's fixed, revs. Now it's idling perfectly. Looking at the handbrake area here, and you can see that there's no rubbers there, and then that one on the far side, that one there, is actually bent. You'll see that the handbrake cable's bent, so I'm gonna have to rip all this out and start again. So this car's together. It's not together as far as everything tested at the moment, but it's together as far as it's a complete car again now. Painstaking to get it this far because there was just so many issues wrong with it when it went to the previous shop, which is now being rectified. Everything is put together perfectly that I can see. There's still a few things that aren't exactly 100% correct on this LC GTR, but very minor now. But looking at the actual car itself and all the work that's gone into it, all the doors shut properly, you'll get a wash of course, all your seats are put in correctly, along with the carpet's sitting correctly, because most people put the seats on top of the carpet. It's not meant to go that way. You've got to know how to cut them out like they did in the factory. Glove box is in, all your heater controls are in, and they work exceptionally well. If I turn the ignition on, fans on, 2 speeds. So yeah, look, there's a few bits and pieces that are going to need to take place in this car now. A lot of testing, a lot of playing around with things. I've got to change the handbrake cables so they didn't install them properly. Then mount the center console here, and just more fitting stuff. But you know, look, from what it was to what it is a beautiful LC GTR Torana. One of the better ones that I've ever seen, the way that it's come up. Just completely different. It's not the final video, that'll be the video of it running and driving, but that's probably about a week away. Yes. I'm on the very home stretch with this car. It's going to take some time just to finish off a few small things, but I need to pull the diff center out, because the diff center, you can't see it from here, but you can sort of see it from up there, is leaking from the front crown seal. So unfortunately, I can't give it back to the customer like that. It needs to be fixed. These need to come out. Pull the diff center out, send it off, get that seal replaced, and then pop it back in. But at the same time, I'm putting in new handbrake cables as well, because that was the rubbish that was left in the car, and you probably can't see that too well, but it's bent. Okay, so to replace this seal in here, the whole diff assembly needs to come out. So I've just undone all the bolts, draining all the diff fluid out, taking the axles out, Need to undo the tail shaft. And we're in business. But just a painful job to do for a cheap seal. It's got to be done, otherwise it's just leaking out diff fluid everywhere. It's just these small things that have to be done.
A few moments later.
And here we have the seat belts. Adelaide built. Correct hinges and mountings and brackets all put in properly. You're missing those as well. So now, you can't see all that, but they sit pretty. Welcome back, worthy restoration viewers. So yes, you are seeing double, and the reason why you're seeing double is because I've now finished this Daytona bronze that I've taken you on a journey on, but I'm also showing you one that I've finished earlier, which was on the front cover of Unique Cars, which is a very popular magazine here in Australia, which had a 6-page spread. But its twin is the one that you've been watching this journey on, a 1969 two-tag LC GTR Daytona bronze with black interior. Now on this side over here, you've got a 1970 3-tag LC GTR Daytona bronze with antique gold interior. I've really enjoyed putting both of these cars together. They've come to me as rollers, meaning that their bodywork was done, but I had to do all the refurbishment of many parts and do all the reassembly and do all the testing of these vehicles. They're ready to go. And the good thing for you watching is that both of these cars are for sale. They're not my cars. I do them for a collector, and the collector is now moving these ones on. He's got just as much passion for the Toranas as what I do. He collects them, restores them, drives them for a while, and then moves them on. So I'll put a link in the description below for 2 of these vehicles, and then from there you can decide whether you want to come down and have a look and see if one of these cars is for you.